Right, so I took the detail off both sides of the coach, both ends. Excuse me, and I'm just going to take the roof off really carefully here now. So I'm just going to use my fingernail, just gently try an area. Actually, no, I've missed on this corridor coach. I've missed. There's another bit of detail that's come off. Got to come off. I nearly missed it. An extra bit of detail here. Almost forgot about that. Right, so got all the bits. I need to put these parts in a box if you can't get lost. Because they'll be very difficult. To replace. So I've got that there, so I'm going to take off the roof now, carefully. Just pulling it back slightly on one side. You can see it lifting. Very slightly. You just work your way along one side. Not both sides, just one side on these coaches, and then lift. And then the other one just pops off. You get access to the inside then. Just got to be careful when you're pulling it off not to break any of the lugs. That's that. We can go over there, and then we get access to the coach. And then on this it just pulls off the lighting unit, just lifts out. On this particular one, it's not wired in as you would normally think. So there we go. Bridge rectifier is there. Just wire on a capacitor onto that, and then probably fit. Just got to be careful here. Probably going to fit in there. Put the capacitor in that bit. I'll just see if it fits. Yes, the capacitor. I'm going to fit this one there. Just about fits. It's not going to be noticeable because you've got a blanked out window there anyway, and I'm not bothered about the light shining through that bit. Although I could probably put smaller capacitors in. I think that's why I put smaller capacitors on the first fit out I did. I think that's why I put the smaller ones in. There's a big difference. And you can put the two small ones in there quite nicely. Or one at each end, which I think I did on the last one, but I think I'm going to put this big one in. You could put it in. You can't put it in one of the compartments, it looks stupid. So the only option is there really. I'll do that. Right, so I've got the capacitor wired up. I've got it trimmed and wired up. And this is a device, it's a circuit board holder. And it clamps circuit boards in place when you're working on them. Just something I thought I might, this is really overkill this, just for something like this, but it is holding it nice and firm and perfect, it's not rolling around. If you try and use one of them, it won't grip it properly, you know, little crocodile clip things. But there's probably other tools out there that's better than this, but you can adjust this one outwards to quite a large distance, and it's got a spring loaded holder so you can just pull it out quickly and stuff like this. Just another tool I use now and again. I thought I'd show that. So the capacitor's been carefully soldered in, because the LED is very close to the joint where you've got to go onto, so I have to be pretty careful on that. Hopefully it'll work. I'm going to put it back in the coach now. Yeah, before I put it back together, I'm going to put the LED light masking tape over the lighting. So I have, this is the tape I use. You can use any masking tape, but this is a specially formulated masking tape. I use this at work, and it's a low bake, which means it's a low tack, but it doesn't leave any residue. When it heats up, it won't leave any residue. You can leave this tape on for a year and pull it off a piece of glass. It pulls off perfect, and there's no glue left behind, and it doesn't go brittle. And this particular mate's called Indasa, but this is a trade. You can't really buy this in the shops, but there's bound to be some Tamiya tape you can use, which is very similar, but I'm obviously using some of this. So that's that one done. So all masked up, tape's been tagged on to keep the wires tidy. Capacitor's gone in there, looks neat and tidy there. Maximum power backup on the coach now. Just put it on the test track, well, put it on the station area, and yeah, lights up. See what happens when I pull it off. Yep, still lighting up. Still lighting up. It's taken a long time to go off that, so that's working alright, so that's quite an easy one to do. Let's put it all back together now. Right, so I'm going to attempt to put the coach body, roof on. So obviously this only goes on one way, and you just got to basically line up the pegs, the holes, making sure the windows are all lined up perfectly before you put it in. I'm just going to switch off that BR407. Making a racket, that ice train. Right, anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to line up the pegs. That all looks nice. It's got it roughly lined up. See how it's lined up on one side. Nicely. So then you've got to work your way around carefully around the other side and start from one end. You've got to double check as you do it, and don't force it. If you force it, you'll probably break something. So you've just got to be nice and careful. That's it. That's all it takes. Holding it in the correct position, not to break any of the undercarriage and the detail along the top. The reason I'm wearing gloves is I just don't want to get thumbprints on the windows when I'm doing it, on the glass, on the glazing. So then it's just a matter of double checking that again to make sure it powers up okay, and then put the details on. And that's it. Right, we're all back together now. So the only thing you got to be careful is obviously line up the size, check, don't force anything on these coaches. You've also got to push the ends of these coaches, engage the ends as well on the very ends, both sides, and check all the glazings all lined up, and then you can put the detail on then, and then you can add the detail. You can just about see the capacitor, but when it's going around the track you won't be able to see that. You just got to be just so careful not to damage these coaches. All the details on there now, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, the tripod I'm using is a Hammer Profil 74, and I'm using an adjustable spring-loaded smartphone mount, which goes onto the camera tripod there, so that's what I'm using for that. So that's the tool I've been using for filming, and using a Galaxy Note 10 for filming. So obviously the tools I'm using for getting the detail on are, I've just pulled these off my head, and magnification glasses. These are absolutely brilliant. I thought oh, it's just a gimmick, I won't use these, but I use them all the time now because my eyes are starting to go. I'm 50 odd, so these are invaluable, I tell you, brilliant. Also using a mag light with a built-in magnification, 2x magnification. I'm using the Festool high beam light over the desk, which is mag mounted. Got a power feed going to that. I've also got a flexible light here as well, so I've got a lot of light going on, you know, where I want it to. And it's always good to have, you know, plenty of space on the desk. It's a bit cluttered, this actually, it's a bit of a mess. The other tool I've using is solder feed reel. You just put get these on eBay. Just put it on, and again, you think it's a gimmick and you'll never use it, but I use this all the time. It's brilliant. It's so handy. Just pull your solder off, pull a bit off, or whatever. Do whatever you want. And the soldering iron I'm using is an RS Pro. That's got a few settings. It's nothing fancy, but it does the job, this. It's got interchangeable nibs. It heats up really quick as well, and you can adjust the temperature. And you've got different settings, channel 1, 2, you've got different memory settings. It's got a USB out. I'm not sure what that's for, but there we go. And the glasses which I mentioned, I'll just get the box for them. Underneath, the spares. These are the boxes of spares that I have for the layout. I've got everything, quite a lot, hundreds of different spares in these boxes. And here we go. It's a Model Maker LED head magnifier. Batman Europe, obviously got their name on it. It's probably made by someone else. Let's have a closer look at these. I think I did show them once. You get your different magnification lenses in there as well, and honestly, it's just such a good bit of kit. It's unbelievable. It's made this doing detail work like this on this coach a breeze. So here we go. Let's stick it on the track. But it doesn't work now. I stuck it all back together. Oh yeah, it does. But anyway, so I've dimmed the lighting down to make it look a bit more authentic. So see what that looks like in the night. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. That looks really nice. Not too bright. It's just right, that. Anyway, that's another good job done, and I'll show how to do the next coach, which will be probably the baggage coach, on the next video. Thanks for watching.